Hi everyone, Megan here from Trout Unlimited Alaska on the Save Bristol Bay campaign. It wouldn't be a normal sports show without our team giving you an update on Bristol Bay and what's at stake with the proposed Pebble mine this year. From the get-go, I want to be really clear. Pebble is the closest it has ever been to becoming a reality in Bristol Bay right now. We need the help of sportsmen and women all across Alaska to stand up and say no to a Canadian mining company with a risky and incomplete plan. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of what's going on with Pebble, let's take a trip out to Bristol Bay so you can be reminded of what's at stake this year. Come with me. Now that we're back, let's dive into the permitting process to get you all caught up on where things stand with Pebble. If you're like me and you're a visual learner, keep watching for the next couple minutes as we walk through why this is such a critical time for Pebble and making sure that we protect Bristol Bay. Our fight against Pebble got really serious in December of 2017 when the Pebble Limited Partnership applied for their most important federal permit. They sent their application to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, who reviews the permit and will make a decision on if Pebble will be granted the green light to dig in Bristol Bay. Last year, the Army Corps issued a draft environmental impact statement, a document that is supposed to include all of the risks that Pebble brings to the people, fish, and existing economies in Bristol Bay. But after they released it and the public had a chance to review it, we noticed that major things were missing from their report. It was missing things like a tailings dam failure. It underestimated how much the region is impacted by seismic activity. And it underscored how the mine infrastructure would damage the multi-million-dollar recreational fishing and tourism industry. Alaskans and fish lovers across the country overwhelmingly commented that they were against the mine. Sportsmen and women, commercial fishermen, tribes, and many others submitted over 650,000 comments saying no to Pebble once again. But it wasn't just us. Agencies like the National Park Service, the state of Alaska, and the EPA also called out the many components of the Pebble plan that were incomplete, missing, or underestimating potential impacts. A few months later, Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski publicly stated that if the Army Corps doesn't address all of the issues that these agencies raised in their completion of the final environmental impact statement, they should not be able to issue Pebble's permit. Since the fall, the Army Corps has been working to address all these inadequacies and update the draft environmental impact statement. Fast forward to March and COVID-19 hits. The tribes, who are busy trying to come up with their plans to keep their communities safe, asked for a timeline extension to review the Pebble final environmental impact statement. The Army Corps said that they, quote, don't see a reason to do that. If the Army Corps isn't changing their timeline, then we can expect the final environmental impact statement to be released in the next 2 to 6 weeks. Then, after 30 days, that final environmental impact statement will be used to make a decision on if Pebble will receive this permit or if it will be denied. So your biggest takeaway from that should be that by the middle of this summer, we're going to know if Pebble has the permit to dig in the headwaters of the most productive sockeye salmon fishery on the planet. Please take action for Bristol Bay by either calling his office and reminding him that we are opposed to Pebble, or dropping him a note through our online system right here where you can send the same message. Trout Unlimited is committed to continuing this fight for Bristol Bay, and we hope that you're with us. If you would like to follow along and you're not connected with us online, check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Save Bristol Bay. Thanks for coming along, and we hope to see you next year.